What's going on today, guys? And welcome back to Eddie Studios. You guys know I do weekly videos with tips and tricks to help you be a better videographer, and I like to do some mobile videography stuff as well. Today, we're talking mobile. We're talking my Sony Xperia 1 Mark III. I love this phone. I love its camera, but let's talk about its slow motion. And I want to show you guys how to get good slow motion on it. And you're like, well, just you hit the slow motion button and record. We're going to do some of that and see how it turns out. And then you're going to see why you don't want to do that, and you're going to want to do it this other way. So I want to get right into it. We're going to go into the regular Camera Pro app and hit the slow motion button, do some slow motion that way. I'll talk about why I don't like that. Then I'll show you how you can get good slow motion out of this phone, because it can take really good slow motion. In the Camera Pro app, you get into slow motion and you wind up hitting the slow-mo button, and it only shoots in HD. And you're like, oh, cool, HD is great. No, HD is 720, and 720 in slow motion is complete garbage. You can't use it for anything. I really think they should do away with calling 720 HD. That's my personal preference. I think 720 is nowadays standard definition. It sucks. And 1080 is HD. Stop calling it full HD. HD is 720 and 4K, obviously. All right, 4K should be full HD. HD should be 1080. And 720 should be standard definition. It looks like shit on a tiny phone. If you're watching a YouTube video on 720 and kick it over to 1080, you can notice the difference. Like, you notice it clearly. Like, if you're watching this video at 720, kick it to 1080 or kick it to 4K. But try just the 720 to 1080. You notice it. Like, it's a big difference. Stop calling 720 HD. I hate this. It should become an industry standard that 720 is no longer HD. We're past this since 2008, guys. Like, 720 sucks. If you're shooting slow motion in 720, you're shooting garbage slow motion. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like if you just hit the HD button. In the Cinema Pro app, it's actually pretty easy to set up your slow-mo and then to get to it really quickly if you need to. So it's not much of a different step than it is if you're doing it in the, like, click the button for HD. But we'll do some recordings where it's just the click the button for HD, which for some reason this phone only allows it in 720 on that. Makes my eye twitch. Because Sony, do an update. Like, firmware update. Oh, I'll do a full video on what I think they need to fix in this camera for firmware updates, because as much as I love it, there's a bunch of stuff I could say, this can easily be fixed with a firmware update. Do it. All right, let's get into it, guys. I'm feeling crazy about this right now because it's driving me nuts. All right, let's get into it, and we'll talk about it afterwards. All right, guys, we're in my phone on a screen record, and I just want to say I'm using a wireless, pretty inexpensive wireless mic setup here on my phone. So hopefully it sounds all right, but I'm not really sure. If it does, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll do a little review on this little setup here. So basically, you can do slow motion in two different ways. You can go into your camera app that's just like your standard camera app. I believe it's called the Photo Pro app, which allows you all the other photo stuff, which I explain in a different video. I will link that video at the end, so stick around and you'll have the link to go over and see all of the aspects of this camera on this phone. But if you want to just shoot slow-mo like you would on any other camera, and you can tell this is pretty much set up like those cameras, you would hit the More button up here, then you would hit slow-mo, and it goes into slow-mo here. The problem with this is it shoots in HD, and you can tell that because you go to the menu and it locks out what you can shoot in. Video size is HD. HD on this device and most devices these days is 720. So that puts us at not the best video quality that you could come up with for slow motion. I mean, we've all seen 720 slow motion and it does not look that great. All right, so I'll shoot some stuff with this app here and pop it up now and show you that, and then we'll get right into the other app to show you how to do that. So that wasn't too great, right, guys? So the other way to do it would be to go into your Cinema Pro app. And hold on, what's it saying? All right, so as you can see, I had to stop recording audio with my phone, so now I'm recording through my camera. Okay, so in here, you got a project frames per second, which 29 is what I've got, 29.97, which is 30 frames per second. You can change that to 24 or put it on 29 and 30 frames per second if you want. And then underneath that, you have the FPS for the actual shoot that you're doing right now. You can click that. And then when you click that, it allows you to do 120 frames per second and then playback at 30 frames per second, which is your project setting. Super awesome. And then you can do that in whichever resolution here. So you either have 4K or 2K. I mean, why would you do 2K if you have 4K as an option? So let's do 4K. And we'll go ahead and record some stuff with that. All right, so what do you guys think? I had fun shooting some of that stuff. Got Carl on the trampoline. I was trying to come up with stuff that looks cool in slow-mo. Whatever. But obviously you can get good slow motion, but you have to use that Cinema Pro app. Not hard. You just have your project rolling, and then you just hit the button, change it from whatever your project setting is to the 120. Shoot. And if you wanted to, you can kick everything else in auto if you're just trying to be that automatic shooter. But like if you bought this phone, you more than likely bought it because you like some of those manual settings on the camera. So don't be shy with the manual settings. Did you guys enjoy this video? You know, I'm asking this every time, but just subscribe to the channel, guys. It's helping me grow and come up with more stuff to do. And I like to know that you know it, so hit that like button and give me a comment and let me know what you think about the better slow motion or the difference between the two, or if this phone's a waste and I should have just got an iPhone. I'm not getting an iPhone, so don't tell me that. But, guys, I really appreciate you. And my channel's growing. I'm almost to the 1,000 subscribers. Woo! It seems like I should be farther than that, though. So, guys, share it with your friends and subscribe. But until next week, guys, check out this other video I did on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III. Talks a lot about it. And go shoot something awesome. Post it like I always say. Don't be shy. Share your stuff. Be proud of it. And keep learning. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.